The movie kicks off in Australia during World War II. A group of soldiers are standing in front of their commander, who starts telling them the story of how he lost his arm. He says he lost it in Turkey after an explosion went off right next to him and his comrade. His buddies sacrificed himself to save him and died in the blast. The commander tells the men that the most important thing a soldier has during a war is his comrade, and that they all need to understand what real sacrifice means. Then he orders them to head into the forest, search the whole area, and return to camp within 4 hours. If anyone's late, they'll have to do the whole thing again. The soldiers rush off, running through the forest under the rain. During the exercise, a soldier named Kelly refuses to help his teammates. One of the soldiers slips into a muddy pit and starts to sink, but another one, Leo, jumps in and saves him just in time. The rescued soldier thanks him and says his name's Will. Leo takes Will's bag to help him move faster, but Will's exhausted and can barely run. So Leo helps him along, running with him all the way back to camp, making it just in time before the deadline.
The commander praises Leo for his courage and for helping his comrade. He tells him and Will to grab some food and rest after all the effort they put in, while ordering the rest of the soldiers to keep training. Kelly complains about the commander's decision, but the commander explains that Leo earned the reward by saving his teammate. Kelly goes back to training, but he keeps staring at Leo and Will with jealousy and anger. Later that night, Will and Leo sit together inside their tent. Will asks Leo if he's ever killed anyone before. Leo realizes Will is scared of the war, so he tells him that he's never killed anyone either. He explains that fear is normal. It can save you, but it can also get you killed. The difference between the two depends on how you deal with it when the moment comes. At that moment, Leo remembers something from his past, a memory of him coming out of the water and getting on a boat with his brother, Archie. Archie asks him if he can dive underwater like him, but Leo refuses, telling him the water is too deep and full of scary things. He says you can't go down there unless you're really ready for it.
Back in the present, Will and Leo join the training session. During the drills, Kelly hits Will and knocks him to the ground. Leo gets pissed and punches Kelly hard, starting a fight between the two in the middle of the water. The commander and the rest of the soldiers just stand there watching to see who win. It's pretty clear Leo's got the upper hand, so Kelly pulls out a knife ready to stab him. The commander yells at him to drop the weapon, and Leo takes the chance to land a heavy punch on Kelly. Kelly hits back, but Leo loses his balance and falls into the river and doesn't come back up. The commander starts to worry and orders Kelly to look for him, but Kelly says he can't find him. Suddenly, Leo bursts out of the water and smacks Kelly right in the face. After the fight, Leo asks the commander for permission to go to the medical tent because he got injured. Right then, all the other soldiers pretend to be hurt too, just so they can head to the medical tent and flirt with the nurse, Hazel, and her friend Susie. Later on, we see Kelly playing poker with a few of his buddies. He's clearly losing a lot of money. The guys call Leo over to join the game, but Kelly refuses and starts mocking him, saying he's not a local and comes from a poor background, not on his level. Leo fires back with a bit of sarcasm, reminding him that he already beat him up earlier. Kelly gets angry and wants to start a fight, but his friends hold him back. That night, when everyone's asleep, Leo quietly sneaks over and steals Kelly's bottle of booze. He grabs Will, and the two head out to hang with Hazel and Susie. It's pretty obvious Susie's got a thing for Leo. She even tells him to take care of himself when the war starts. The next day, all the soldiers board the ship, heading toward the battlefield. During the trip, Leo has a nightmare and wakes up in a panic. Suddenly, the ship comes under attack. A bomb hits and explodes, sending the whole vessel down. A lot of soldiers die in the blast. Leo manages to survive. He dives underwater and pulls Will out from below. When he looks up, he sees enemy planes flying overhead. One of them starts shooting at them. Leo grabs Will and dives back underwater just in time. After a few seconds, he resurfaces and lays Will on a piece of wreckage, trying to wake him up until he finally opens his eyes. Then, Leo starts gathering bits of floating debris, hoping to find something that can help them survive. Meanwhile, another soldier is still alive, sitting on top of a barrel in the middle of the ocean, holding his rifle and shooting at the enemy planes. But suddenly, something pulls him under the water, fast, and he never comes back up. We cut back to Leo, who's still picking up whatever he can find from the wreckage, with Will helping him out.
They start tying the pieces together and fixing them on top of the wooden plank they're sitting on, trying to keep it steady. Suddenly, Leo feels something move in the water around him, and he's shocked to see another soldier, Tom, pop up right in front of him. Tom's got a nasty head wound, so Leo grabs him and pulls him up onto a piece of wood. Tom looks totally out of it, mumbling and asking about the ship. Then, they hear a strange sound nearby. Leo mimics it, trying to figure out where it's coming from. A few seconds later, they hear voices answering back. It's their fellow soldiers. They appear soon after, swimming toward them, and explain that the beeping sound was coming from their signal device. Turns out, it's just an air raid alarm. The thing's broken and completely useless now. They all gather together on the same piece of wreckage, mourning their fallen brothers. Out of the 200 men who are on board, only 7 of them are still alive, and 3 of those are injured. After a while, they calm down and start collecting whatever supplies and weapons they've got left. Sadly, it's not much. Just 1 rifle, 4 grenades, a can of fuel, a knife, and a single rescue flare.
Will starts checking the map, trying to figure out exactly where they are. After a few moments, he manages to pinpoint their location, but they're miles away from the nearest port. To make things worse, a thick fog has covered everything around them, leaving them no choice but to wait until the weather clears up before they can move. Luckily, the fog actually works in their favor. It keeps them hidden from enemy forces, making it hard for anyone to spot or target them. The ocean current also starts dragging them farther away from the wreck, which means any planes coming to search the area won't find them there. While scanning the horizon, Will spots a small boat in the distance. He points at it, telling the others that it might be their only way out of this. But suddenly, a massive shark bursts out of the water and grabs Bobby, one of their men. Bobby fights as hard as he can, thrashing and screaming, but it's useless. The shark tears into him and rips his body clean in half, right in front of him.
At that moment, Leo tells the others that the shark attacking them is a great white shark, and he's certain it's a female because of its massive size. Kelly, shocked, asks how he could possibly know that. Leo calmly replies that he spent years living around the ocean and knows almost everything about marine life. But Kelly doesn't buy it. He keeps yelling, desperate to figure out a way to kill the shark. Leo snaps at him, ordering him to shut up. Sharks are drawn to blood, movement, and sound, he warns. They need to stay perfectly still and quiet if they want to survive. Suddenly, a painful memory flashes through Leo's mind. The moment his brother, Archie, was dragged underwater and devoured by a shark right before his eyes. He snaps back to reality when he notices a drop of blood leaking through the wreckage they're sitting on. The water begins to stir, and the shark returns. It lunges out of the water, grabs Stan, and pulls him under. Leo catches Stan's arm and refuses to let go. In a moment of pure chaos, he shouts for someone to throw a grenade into the water. One of them obeys instantly. The grenade sinks beside the shark and explodes, sending up a massive wave that rocks the debris and drenches them all.
The shark lets go of Stan, and his friends quickly pull him out of the water. But it's too late. The shark had ripped his leg clean off. Blood pours out like a river. Will acts fast, wrapping a belt tight around Stan's leg to stop the bleeding, while Leo holds him down, trying to keep him from falling back into the water. Stan's in total shock. He just can't believe his leg is gone. After a tense moment, Leo decides they need to reach the nearby boat and get out of there. He turns on his flashlight, scans the wreckage in front of him, and ties a rope around his waist, handing the other end to Will to hold tight. Leo starts jumping across the floating debris, moving carefully toward the boat. But suddenly, he slips and falls into the water. He kicks hard, fighting his way back up, when the shark senses the movement and rushes toward him fast. Just in time, Leo manages to climb onto a piece of wreckage, now only a few meters away from the boat. Out of nowhere, the shark shows up right in front of Leo. His buddies open fire, forcing it to back off for a second. Just enough time for Leo to jump onto the boat, shouting for them to pull him in. As they're dragging him up, the shark circles back around, moving fast. Leo pulls the grenade from his pocket, yanks the pin, and throws it straight at the shark. It explodes, loud and hard, water splashes everywhere, and the shark disappears into the deep. Leo finally makes it onto the boat, but then they realize the engine's dead. They're stuck.
Moments later, the shark starts ramming the wreckage again and again, shaking the whole boat and nearly throwing them overboard. Kelly snaps. He pulled the pin from another grenade, ready to throw it. But Leo grabs his arm just in time, yelling that it'll blow them all to pieces and they've only got 2 grenades left. Kelly freezes, breathes heavy, then slowly puts the grenade down. After a while, things calm down. Everyone's exhausted and falls asleep. But then, the grenade slips from Kelly's hand and rolls slowly towards Stan. At that moment, Leo wakes up suddenly. His eyes go wide when he sees Stan lying right on top of the grenade. Stan doesn't even move. He just stays there, sacrificing himself so the blast won't hurt anyone else. Leo snaps. He grabs Kelly and starts beating the hell out of him, yelling that it's all his fault that his carelessness killed their friend. Will steps in, shouting for both of them to stop before they kill each other, too. Later, they gather what's left of Stan's body and quietly drop it into the water. Time passes. Leo's stomach growls. He opens a can of food, but it's empty. He looks around, pissed, and Tom admits he ate it. He says there's plenty of food back on the ship. That's when Leo realizes Tom's mind's gone. The trauma's messed him up bad. Kelly lets out a bitter laugh and says, "Man, I thought I'd die from a bullet, not from starving out here in the middle of the damn ocean." Then, out of nowhere, rain starts to fall. The men look up, smiling for the first time in days, holding out their hands and helmets to catch every drop they can.
That night, Leo wakes up to Tom screaming his lungs out at the sharks got him, dragging him into the water fast. Everyone jumps up, trying to pull him back, but it's no use. He's gone, just like that. Leo freezes. His mind starts slipping. He sees his brother, Archie, standing out there by the water. He calls out to him, stumbling forward, then suddenly falls right in. The others rush in and pull him out just in time before the shark gets to him. Then, out of nowhere, they hear a plane overhead. For a second, everyone's faces light up. They grab the flare and set it off, waving and shouting for help. But their smiles fade quick when they realize it's an enemy aircraft and it opens fire. They all dive into the water, bullets splashing around them. One guy doesn't make it. He gets hit and goes down. Leo and Kelly crawl out from under the wreckage, gasping for air. And then the plane circles back around at the same time, the sharks closing in from below. Leo yells for the others to jump, grabs the rifle, and fires up at the plane. Kelly and the wounded guy hit the water. Will jumps in right after, but before Leo can move, a bullet tears through him, dropping him where he stands.
Right then, Kelly grabs the wounded guy and shoves him toward the shark, using him as bait. Will freezes, staring in shock, unable to believe what he's just seen. Kelly actually did it. Once they climb back out of the water, Will rushes to Leo, telling him the bullet went clean through and out. Leo's still bleeding, but alive. Then they all look up and see it, the plane Leo shot down, crashing into the ocean in flames. Leo looks around and asks where their buddy is. Kelly just says flatly, "The shark got him." But Will snaps back, yelling that Kelly's lying. He saw him push the guy straight into the shark. Leo loses it. He tackles Kelly and the two start brawling right on top of the wreckage. In the struggle, Kelly's hand slips into the water, and within seconds, the shark lunges up and grabs him. Leo and Will pull with everything they've got and somehow drag him back out. They press down on the wound, trying to stop the bleeding. Kelly breathes heavy, his face pale, and finally mutters an apology. He's sorry for what he did, sorry for killing their friend. While they're talking, they suddenly spot the enemy pilot standing on the wreckage of his crashed plane, slowly walking toward them. Leo notices the pilot's holding a sword and tells Will to throw their last grenade. Will gets ready to toss it, but then he sees the pilot drop the sword into the water. He hesitates, thinking maybe the guy's surrendering. But the second the pilot gets close, he charges at them, attacking like a trained soldier. The grenade slips from Will's hand as Leo tackles the pilot. The man's fast and skilled, and both Leo and Will are too injured to keep up. Within seconds, the pilot's got the upper hand. Then he glances over at Kelly, lying motionless. He assumes he's dead and turns his focus back on Leo and Will, ready to finish them. But suddenly, Kelly grabs his leg. Turns out, he was just pretending to be dead. He spots the grenade the pilot dropped earlier, grabs it, and straps it to the pilot's leg. Then, without a second thought, he holds on tight and dives into the water with him. A few seconds later, boom! The grenade explodes beneath the waves, taking both Kelly and the pilot with it.
Because of the explosion, Will and Leo fall into the water and swim quickly until they get on the boat before the shark attacks them. Then, Will finds a repair toolbox next to him in the water, so he takes it and keeps it to fix the boat engine. But he's surprised when Leo takes the grenade and dives underwater, waiting for the shark to come closer. As soon as it does, he puts his hand with the grenade inside its mouth. The shark bites Leo's arm with the grenade, and when it moves away, the grenade explodes and the shark's body blows up. After that, Leo sees his brother Archie in front of him, telling him that he has avenged him from the shark. Leo snaps out of his illusion when Will pulls him onto the boat, and Will can't realize that Leo sacrificed his arm just to get rid of the shark. After a while, Will manages to fix the boat engine and drives the boat so he and Leo can return to their homeland, and the movie ends.
If you liked the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel.